Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to another installment of Show to Be with Mike G, the show of life, the show of Vancouver, Guadalajara, tequila, and so much more. In Austin, you see a very bustling tequila market. There's some brands that keep popping up. You see a lot of parties. You see a lot of good press. But one brand in particular, Carabuena, someone introduced me to it randomly. And they said, the founder, Victor Diaz, he lives here in Austin, Texas. A few emails later and some weeks of back and forth. And finally, I got to sit down and chat with Victor about his life. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy this great chat with the founder of Carabuena Tequila, Victor Diaz.
Viridiana, yeah. I met her in Vancouver.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, in Vancouver?
In Vancouver. I used to live in Vancouver for like 7 years. And we started dating.
Okay.
And started living together, and started that relationship, and she's basically why I'm here.
Was she living? Does she have family here, or was she living here?
Yeah. She moved here when she was like 17.
Oh, really?
To study. And she had family here. So she went to Vancouver to study. I went there to explore my life.
Were you staying with a friend? It looked like you were you staying with a mate out there, or were you living by yourself?
I moved with my cousin. He went there before.
Okay.
And I told him, hey, how's Vancouver?
I like Vancouver a lot. At that point, before you were behind the bar, what kinds of things were you doing for work? Were you also working at bars, at restaurants?
Like basically, I started working when I was 15 years.
Is it the country club?
At the Guadalajara Country Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a golf club. I worked there because my dad is a pianist.
Yeah. Was he playing at the country club? Really?
For so many years. So when I turned 15, I told my dad, hey, I want to go to work,
Yeah.
Like, I appreciate the school and all the hard work that you've been doing for me, but I want to help in the house, Like, I want to work. So he helped me to start working at Guadalajara Country Club.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So my mom is the reason I play piano, because you notice that when you walk in, we've got the baby grand out there. Music for my family was around all the time. My mom would be playing piano. My daddy sings a little bit. But was music a big part of your life? Listening to music, your dad performing? Yeah?
Oh yeah. We have a piano in our house in Guadalajara, Jalisco. And every day my dad is playing piano.
Does he sing too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he has a group.
Really?
He teach piano. He do events, stuff like that. He was trying to teach me piano as well, but
what happened?
Man, my dad got so hard at me, when I was trying to teach, and I said, what, Dad, I think this is not for me.
Yeah.
But I regret.
It's that's a lot of people tell me that. My mom made me take it. I was 8 years old, and she's like, "You got to do it," and it was maybe one of the greatest gifts that she had. But did you get into, when you talk about school before working at the country club, you're into football, it looks like. Soccer player, right? You into sports more?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Soccer is
your favorite?
It's my life. Soccer is life. My dad used to play soccer too.
Oh, really?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I like soccer. So that's the good thing about, being in a family that likes football. Well, that was only my dad,
Yeah.
he gave me that passion about it. And then I started playing, you know. Then I started playing, and then when I moved to Vancouver, you know, I didn't play for a little bit until when I moved here to Austin.
You started playing more?
I started playing more, you know. I got more of my active life here in Austin.
It looks like, too, that health and exercise, what was it, though, like Westlake Church or whatnot that you used to work out at? But there's staying healthy is important to you?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. I was at one point in my life where I was overweight.
Oh, really?
You know, I had a hernia disc call.
Oh, really?
That was causing me sciatica pain. You know, and man, I was smoking all cigarettes, like don't exercise, you know, like working late and then having some drinks, you know. And when I moved here, I tried to change, you know, that behavior.
I see.
You know, and I was, you know, why don't I start stop smoking, you know, like be more outside.
Yes.
Austin is beautiful, and that's a great place to be outside. And I started running, you know, and playing soccer back.
How's your back now?
Feels perfect.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, I play soccer every day, man.
Oh, you do, really?
Oh, yeah, man.
I love that. Where are you playing?
Circle C.
Okay.
We have we have a WhatsApp group where we have like 120 people. We sign up every day.
Yeah.
We play 5-on-5, 10-on-10. So every day there's a game.
Yes. The weather here is a lot more hot than it is in Jalisco, though. Have you noticed the summers here? Does it make it more difficult to play?
Yes. That's why we play early sometimes.
Before the sun comes up.
Before the sun, absolutely.
Right when the bars get out, just go in
absolutely.
3 in the morning. When you were working in the country club, did you eventually go, because you were, what, probably 17, something like that when you...
I started when I was 15.
15, that's right.
15. Yeah, I work as a busser, you know, and then I moved as a bar back.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Because it was interesting for me, like, how they're doing the cocktails, you know, like, the clientele, they come to you, and then, I don't know, it seems interesting for me.
Did you end up bartending at the country club?
Yeah.
What kinds of drinks were you making? Because that would have been early on in cocktail stuff.
Yeah, piñas coladas, you know, that kind of... It was a country club, and I was working at the pool area.
Oh, okay.
So,
a lot of Ron.
Yeah, so we can... That kind of drinks, you know.
Do you like that? So something that I've noticed, like I was in retail for a while. I was a lead singer, all this kind of crap, you know. But I like people. I like performing, but I also like taking care of people. As a bartender, as a bar back, do you like the element of taking care of your guests?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, I don't know. Every time when a client came to me, you know, I want to treat him like I want the same to me, you know.
Right.
You know, so I'm trying to do my best, and not just bartending, like for everything, you know. Like I like to do my best, you know. And I think being part of the service industry and working behind the bar, you develop that skill, you know, where you're more comfortable talking to the people in front of you, you know. You're giving a margarita, you're giving something, tequila,
right?
And they start like talking to you. You know, you're more like therapist for them. You know,
I do know.
You know, yeah. So, it seems interesting for me because I like to talk to people. I like to see them. You know, asking what they do, you know, for life and stuff like that. So
it's me too. I'm here asking. Maybe this is as I draw this imaginary line. Maybe there's a bar top right here, right as we're drinking Carabuena Tequila. Something that I noticed because I get to do events, I get to serve people, I get to interview people, which is something I enjoy. But also I have this tech job as well, you know. And what I notice is that a lot of the tech people, they don't like this. They don't like the talk. Have you noticed this? That people outside of hospitality are a little more cold?
Oh yeah, and opens the doors, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Opens the doors when you have someone like on the side, and you start talking,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and the other person start like the conversation. Hey, you know, like,
Yeah.
I own so many bars. Okay.
It's something that I find is you almost can always tell if someone's in industry. They'll fill your water for you. You know what I mean? And they'll be nice. The hospitality how that feels. Is that something that your father had too? Because I know he's a musician and soccer player. Did he ever work behind the bar or no?
Mm-mm.
Are you the first in the family?
I'm in the first. My brother too. He worked at the same country club where I used to work.
Older or
older?
Younger? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But no, my daddy was all music.
Always music. But that's still kind of fun too, because you're creating a vibe. You know, you're creating a moment to bring other people into. What is your favorite part about service?
The family that you meet, you know, in that work, you know, any place that you work, you know, you create family.
Yes.
Well, you start talking to your friends, your co-workers, you know, and then became your friends, then became your family. You know, I think that's the beauty about the service industry.
There's never a stranger. It looked like, from what I was able to assess about your life, that you traveled a lot throughout your life. Is that true?
I moved from Guadalajara to Vancouver, and then to Vancouver to here.
Okay, so
I'm being focused on following my dreams.
Yes, dreams. I followed love too, man. I get it. Like, you'd be or maybe you wouldn't be surprised. So many people in this industry are in Austin because of love. Whether it worked out or not is not the point. But they're here. We follow love. I've done the same thing. But are you a curious person? Are you curious about traveling to other countries? Are you certainly curious about other people? But do you keep like to learn?
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Now, from working behind the bar to having a tequila business and having another business in Mexico. And
you have another business?
We provide our own bottle.
You do glass manufacturing?
So
that's a good business.
So called Penca de Leon.
Really?
That's our producer for the bottle, the label.
Where is it located in Mexico?
In Jalisco, Mexico.
So you get to bottle in Jalisco. This is incredible because, you know, you don't have to take a class to know that owning production and then what's in the glass, and then the glass is a very good move.
Well, yeah, it took me a little bit to get to the point.
How did you know it was the right time to start working? Because we'll talk about Maudie's in a second, which is a Houston institution, but was there a point where maybe you were working behind the bar at Maudie's that you knew that you wanted to have your own business?
Also, thanks to Biddy,
you
know, she used to work at that restaurant.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh.
So when I came back from
Vancouver,
I was like, you know, because I used to do landscape as well.
Okay.
So I was like, you know, I'm gonna do landscape over here too. And I started buying my equipment and stuff, you know, and then I realized that it was not as profitable as Vancouver. So she told me, you should start working at Maudie's. It's a good place. You know, like, it's a good area. You can meet good people. And they tip well. Yeah.
So how long were you over there? Is that 10 years? No.
9. 9, close to 10.
Really? Did you start off as a bartender over at Maudie's?
I started as a busser.
Okay. Similar thing, busser and then bar back. And,
I have experience, you know, serving, bussing tables, running the food, stuff like that.
Are people in Texas, the customers, are they a lot different than they are in the country clubs of Jalisco?
Absolutely, yes.
What is the biggest difference, you think? And you can be you can say whatever you want.
Well, it's different, you know.
Yeah.
I think in Austin, the people like to talk to the service industry more than Mexico.
Okay.
Just to say it like that.
Oh, that's good.
You know?
That's good. Not like classism is a word.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, it's more inclusive potentially in Austin.
Yes. But I mean, it depends,
Yeah. No, I'm good, but I'm glad to hear that because, to be honest, I'm a gringo, so like a lot of the places I go, if I'm working with the brand or something, there's no way I'm gonna ever know how it is just to be a regular, because the brand bring you into a place and everybody treats you nice, So it's really, I like to hear that Austin is more inclusive. People want to talk more. But did you have a moment then, because we both started brands, right? I never started tequila brand. We'll never compute, right? But at one point I thought, I want something for me. I want my own business. And I remember what that process was like. But were you tired of working for someone else? Was there an opportunity that came up? What happened to make the tequila business an idea for you?
Well, first of all, like, I didn't know that I want to do like the tequila business, my whole life.
Did you have any other ideas, like other things you were planning on? Other projects?
I like to sell stuff.
Do you?
I love sell.
Okay. What do you like about it?
When I came here, I started like flipping stuff, buying stuff from Craigslist, and then like redone a little bit and sell it,
Right.
And well, since I was kid, I've been selling all my stuff, so I feel I had this moment where I was like, this is my passion, I like to sell stuff.
Yeah, I love that.
And I was trying to decide what is it, like what kind of business, like
what's the thing?
What's the thing? And also, having passion for with Biddy, she's a professional. And she was telling me that I need to do something else, like pushing me to get to my limit,
Did the word ambition? Was she saying you need to have ambition?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To be a more ambition,
Yeah, right.
And one day I was bartending. I was cleaning the bottles, and I look in the label on the back, and that's from a bottle of tequila, and I was reading all the directions and the address and stuff. I was like I know those places.
Yeah.
What if, I do my own tequila brand?
That's amazing.
And that's how it started.
Really?
And started searching,
Searching, okay.
What do I need to do to create my own brand?
But before that point, I mean, being from Jalisco, how present or how often were you buy tequila and drinking tequila? Was that often?
What do you mean? In Mexico?
Yeah, even into Austin. Were you surrounded by tequila a lot? Just drinking.
Oh, yeah. I mean, bartending like 10 years here.
Wow, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, so
we drink a lot of tequila. People do they drink as much tequila in Jalisco at a country club?
Oh, yeah, man.
They do? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And sometimes we're drinking at 55% or like higher percent.
Puntas?
Yeah.
Well, then it all kind of lined up. When you looked at that bottle and you saw the address, what year was that? How many years ago?
I would say like 8, 9 years.
8 or 9 years.
Wow.
So you'd been in Austin a couple years.
13.
Working at Modest. What was the next step then? How do you go about? I mean, I know now, but I wouldn't have had the foggiest idea that so many years ago how to start a tequila brand. So what do? Did you go back home and start knocking on doors? Is that how the process was?
Yeah. I grew up in Jalisco.
Yeah.
I always visit Tequila Jalisco. And I met a lot of people.
I bet. Yeah.
I was buying tequila on the ground,
Nice. Great. I love it.
I was a kid, I was making those.
I mean,
all those crazy with
the bottle. Yes, the plastic bottles.
So that was part of, I was be able to say, you know what, I can do it because I know people that they sold tequila, but they need help.
Yes.
Where they need an investor or anything, so they can name the production tequila. And I find one.
Was it one? You found one, and then that was it, or did you have to go through a process? Only one.
It took me like 1 year to find the right person.
Was because the tequila is good, and we'll talk about this reposado in a second. Why was it a good match for you? Was the producer like you? The tequila is beautiful, but what was it that made them the correct person for you?
His story. The person who created the whole thing, because he created the distillery.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He plants, he owns agave. And when he told me his story, that he started from zero, it was very inspirational for me.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? Like, I want to do the same thing. I want to start from zero too. What if I create a brand, and I help you to, for the process.
Right.
Send you some money, we pay salaries, blah, 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 when you can able to name your production tequila.
Was he making any marcas within Mexico?
He was helping another distilleries, like buy and sell agave,
Okay. But at that point, he wasn't making his own? Oh, really?
I mean, he's been making tequila for so many years. He's third generation tequilero.
Okay.
So he had plenty experience.
Yeah.
Making tequila, and I think he's one of the best tequileros. And this person that needs to be recognized.
Yes.
And I knew when I started talking to him,
because the person, the man that he was.
Family.
Yeah.
Mom, dad, two boys and one girl. They all work at a distillery.
All of them.
And I was like, oh, this is beautiful. I can do something like that too. Create something and integrate it.
Yeah. So you knew it was the right match. Did you know what was next? Because of course, finding the tequila is the most important. But then there's the design, there's the importation, all of these other steps. Did you bring in a partner? Did you do it totally by yourself?
What I did is I brought the finished product. And I presented to an investor. How
did you meet? Now, you don't have to give me a name or whatnot, although I think there's a picture of you all together. But how do you set a meet? I know how I've set up meetings like that, but how did you set up that meeting? How did you find this person?
I set up him like probably 3,000 margaritas or more than that.
Okay.
Yeah, I know him for like 8 to 10 years.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay.
He was one of my clients.
Yes. That's how it all works. You always, I got a business, I need an investor. It's always someone we know. It's not random.
I told him one day, hey, and I'm creating a tequila business.
What did he say?
He was one of the person that he put my attention, a lot of people told me that was crazy. Right. You're trying to create and do your own tequila business. Yeah, right. But he actually put some attention on me, where, okay, Victor, this is what you need. This is how it works, and this is the way. And I was like, okay. So I was like kind of tasting him, like, okay, like he can help me. And that gave me a lot of confidence to finish all the process in Mexico.
Right.
And show him the final product with the investor deck, with everything,
Yes. Was that something, because, as entrepreneurs, we may know how to sell. We may know how to connect with people. But making a deck for investors, sometimes it's a new thing. Had you done anything like that before?
Mm.
How did you learn, or what did you learn to make sure you made the best deck for your friend to talk about Carabuena?
I put all the dots together.
Uh-huh.
I find the right people.
Okay.
The right people. Charlie is a person that I know for a long time too, and I knew that he works for another brands and I help him launch.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was begging him, hey, you need to listen to this. I need help. Until, he put attention on it, and I saw that I have
a good idea. Yeah.
And he jumped in, and he's the one who came with the distribution here.
Interesting. So from bringing back that first final sample of the tequila, it was Blanco. How long did it take till you sold your first bottle? How many years?
Well, the whole thing since when I started to right now from point distribution, like 11 years. Wow. But 3 years ago, that's when we start, like formal the business.
Yeah, I saw the copyright submission and all that stuff.
All the stuff, I had all in place in Mexico. The tequila, the tequilero, the store in Mexico, and I connect with the people and here in Austin. The right people.
Did you ever find, or was there a moment where it was going too slow for you, that you wanted it to happen faster, and you were becoming impatient?
Yes, but I was like, another year. If I need to wait, I will do it, because I know that as soon as I got the product and everything, it will be right, And it was very stressful at the beginning, but having that confidence and thinking every day that this is going to happen,
That's a great point. What do you do to keep positive? There's a lot of negativity around us, and then you launch a brand, and then COVID hits. There's all these kinds of things that happen. But some people meditate, some people exercise. What kinds of things do you do to remain healthy mentally?
I play soccer. That helped me a lot.
Yeah, sure.
When I play soccer, like I release all the stress and stuff, but all the negativity in my mind, it transfers to good,
Does it? Tell me more about that. I understand, but what do you do? Do you turn it into action? Do you turn it into physical action? What is it?
Well, when someone told me something is like negativity, I don't know, my mind, I think, is a little bit crazy that it thinks they're different, it's like, oh, you can do it,
So if I said, there's no way this tequila is gonna work out.
Oh, it's gonna work out.
Exactly. So you kind of process it and say,
and then I think about it. And that's my focal point, where I'm gonna go. And what's next? And I don't know. I just visualize.
I love that.
There's no negativity like around me. It is a lot. But I don't try. No.
So you certainly are a positive person by nature.
I changed my behavior, when I moved here. Like I said, I was used to smoke a lot of cigarettes, like overweight, and I decided not to do that again and change my habits.
Really? And that changed your mind as well?
And then I started seeing like, oh, if I start thinking about this, every day, and I really, really want it, it started happening, and it was like every 4 or 5 months, I was like, okay, now I'm going to concentrate, to create this, to be a better soccer player, to reach this goal, to find the master distiller.
Yes.
And then it started happening.
Do you regularly set goals?
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't do that. But when you released the Blanco, which you says about 3 years ago, right?
2
years. Sorry. That now we're sipping the Reposado, which is really an interesting profile. I got to tell you, we'll talk more about it. But was the Reposado a goal that you had at the beginning, or it was a new goal?
Well, my whole idea since the start, when I started this like 10 years ago, 11, sorry, I was like, I just need a good Blanco, you know, because that's what tequila represents, you know, Blanco.
Yeah.
You have all the notes, so Blanco. Like, you celebrate the plant. You know, it takes 6 to 12 years to fully mature.
Right.
You know, why you want to put in a barrel?
Change,
you know.
Yeah.
That was my first idea, just Blanco. I don't want anything else, just Blanco. But Juan Torres, the creator of the juice,
Maestro Tequilero?
the Maestro Tequilero, he doesn't like him to call him Maestro Tequilero.
What is he like?
No?
Guy.
I'm Juan.
Hombre.
I'm Juan Torres.
Yeah. I love it. I'm
Juan Torres.
Yeah.
So he's a tonelero.
Okay.
You know what's a tonelero?
Yeah.
Okay. And he presented to us this. Like, this is actually Carabuena in a whiskey barrel.
Did he want to do that before? Or he just, if you had never asked, he did it before you even asked?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Had he done that before? Had he made a reposado before? Okay.
His grandfather worked at one of the main distilleries in Jalisco.
Oh, okay.
So he's a real tequilero.
Even though he wouldn't want to call him.
He doesn't want to call it.
What do you think? So something, I drink a lot of different spirits and drink a lot of tequila and mezcal mostly. But there's something happening here with this reposado that I want to share with you. Normally, I don't get into like tasting notes when I do this. I got other stuff for that. But this is so crisp and dry. Do you notice how dry it is? It's so nice and clean. Was there anything that did you have a vision for what you wanted the reposado to taste like before Jorge brought it to you, or no?
Juan.
Excuse me, Juan.
So he told me, I know how to make good tequila. You know, he created the whole thing. Copper distiller, clay oven. You know, he's like,
clay?
Clay oven.
Yeah, cool.
So he's like, I create my whole kitchen. You know, this is the profile this is our profile. This is how I want to be. You know, and I have the best barrels. You know, so I was just like, I trust you, Juan.
Whatever he wants to do.
You know, if this is it, this is it.
It's interesting, and I'm going to touch on this, but we don't have to get into this. But there's so many people talking about additives and stuff, and again, I don't want to talk about it, but there's something here that tastes incredibly clean and natural, unadulterated, you know, and it's beautiful. It's the same proof, 80 proof, the same as the others. When you first tried it, what did you think of the Reposado?
So delicious.
Yeah.
And you have to try the Añejo as well.
We certainly will. But did you? This is the thing too, and of course, you know, you want Juan to make whatever kinds of art that he wants to make. But did you have any expectation on what it should taste like? You know, you're starting a tequila brand. You know, some things are a little spicier, some things are a little more green. Was there anything ever that you were like, the tequila that I have, that I bring in, that's my brand, it's got to be like this? Did you have any kind of limitations like that?
I'm not really like a Reposado and Añejo person, you know. Like I say, I like Blanco. You know, Blanco is my thing. I tried a lot of Reposado for different brands, you know, and I thought the reposado should taste like most of the brands. I don't want to say names, but
sure.
It tastes the same. Like it tastes the same.
Yes.
And per conversation with Juan, I don't want like this, And he's like, Victor, let me do my work, And I will surprise you.
It really is surprising, man.
Right?
I've tried. I mean, I'm not boasting, but I've tried thousands upon thousands of destilados and stuff, and this is one of the first times when I'm tasting a repo that I'm like, this is different. It's drier, more mineral forward. I don't know what to think. I like it, but I don't know what to think. It's so different.
We're a new distillery, like not in the way that we're new, but having our own name, our own denomination, the region, We only produce Carabuena.
That's amazing.
We don't do mass produce.
Yeah.
We don't, like that's time and quality. Temperature, and the family control it.
Yes. Do you think the kids will end up working at the?
They already do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they already do.
I love that. So the whole family operation.
The whole family operation.
And only the one brand, only your brand. Do you ever get pressure from Juan to expand faster, go into other states?
He's not in a rush, He chose my jewelry, for so many years. And we're on a pace,
Yeah.
I think we have something unique.
It really is.
The blanco is delicious. Reposado and Añejo.
And I know it's a terrible question, but right now, as it's getting hotter in Texas, getting into summer, do you have a favorite of the Añejo, the Reposado, or the Blanco? Or is it because stuff's new that they're more favorite?
I would say Blanco, always neat. That's the best way to drink it. And the cocktails, it really changed, the quality of the drink. When you can drink a good margarita, that you can taste the tequila, there's a good tequila. I've been serving a lot of margaritas my whole life, and
well, you got a lot of experience now. All right, I would definitely going to try the Añejo. Are you able to say where the barrels come from? And if not, that's okay.
Yeah, they're French.
They're French oak.
The French oak.
Okay, now we're talking different. That's great for both the same barrels, right?
Correct.
Barricas. Yeah, I'm left so impressed with the Reposado. It's such a smart kind of intellectual tequila. It's balanced and it's accessible, but it's not easy to understand because you don't expect the Reposado to taste like that.
We're a different profile.
That's exactly right.
We're a different profile. A new 88. That's the Añejo.
Okay, let me try this.
The Añejo is 14 months.
14 months. And the same French.
French.
Oof. It smells some saltiness. So, one of the reasons that we're talking, Victor, is that I was out. At least 3 people have mentioned your name to me, as I was telling you before we started recording. And one of the bartenders at Uptown Sports Club, she's like, have you heard of this tequila? I'm like, I've heard of it, but I haven't had it. So she poured me a sip of it. And I tried it, and I was like, this is different. It's something off the main profiles of the Blancos that I'd had, or that were even on the back bar there. But you've managed, and you've been in Austin a while, but you've managed to impact people in a very short amount of time as a brand owner. I mean, you said you like sales. What do you think it is that people connect with you and Carabuena? Because they're impressed by you. What do you think that might be? And you can be, what's the word? Orgulloso? Proud a little bit? Yeah.
Proud. Well, I don't know, man. I'm trying to be,
just you.
just me, you know, and what you see right there is basically my dream comes true, you know, and it's, I don't know, sometimes I don't believe, you know, what's been happening to me, you know. I'm so grateful,
yeah,
you know, and like I said, I'm dreaming my dream.
Yeah,
I'm living my dream. Sorry,
but you never thought this was gonna be your dream.
And every time that I go outside and sell the product, you know, that's my family, you know. That's everything that I have right now,
right?
You know, and
your wealth in a way, right?
And do whatever it takes, man, you know, to close a deal.
Yeah.
And I don't know, sometimes when I tell my story to people, you know, they feel like, oh, you know, I can do it too. I can do like my own thing, you know, like it's hard. It is so hard, you know, but it's possible, you know. And
it's possible.
It is possible.
Man, I think a lot of people don't think things like this, starting your own brand, finding a hacienda to make tequila. They don't think it's possible. But you're patient because it took a long time. And that's something, and again, you know, having done interviews for almost a decade now, that's a trait that will never go away. And some of the greatest people in this industry, that's what they have. Nothing will keep them down. Nothing will tell them no. So let's sip the añejo here. The smell is really nice and salty. Very lactic. I love this on the nose, but not from the agave, but from the barrel itself. This is different too. Holy shit. Completely different than the Reposado. There's the, you know, you ever make I'm sure at Maudie's, maybe you had to make, do you ever make a gin fizz? Or a Ramos gin fizz? You know that drink where you have to shake it for like 8 minutes or whatever? There's a...
I'm good at it.
There's an ingredient called orange blossom water. Have you heard of that? It's kind of a Middle Eastern ingredient. But this has this orange peel, orange... What's the flower? Like, just orange flower, kind of marigold and stuff. This beautiful flower note to it. When you tried this for the first time, how did you feel?
Man, I was like, añejo, you know, like, I think añejo is more like kind of whiskey person.
Yes, right.
You know,
right.
A lot of person that like whiskey, I bet they're gonna love this. I was like, this is interesting, you know, and I started making some margaritas, like espresso martinis, you know, like, and it changed the flavor very good, man. Like, I drank like a 4 or 5 of those, man.
Yeah. And then it was, the rest of the night was very, very good. It's so different. I'm perplexed. Like, I'm thinking, it's so different than any añejo I've ever had.
I've been sample the tequila, añejo, and reposado the past, because we just launched the
reposado
said
just like a couple days ago.
2 days ago.
Right? Yeah.
2 days ago.
So we're trying, or I get to try like really soon. Yeah, this is amazing.
And like all the team, they're like, oh, the reposado is amazing, you know, but the añejo, wow.
It's so interesting.
Like, wow. Like, oh my God, even myself, it was like, I call Juan. Like, Che Juan, this is delicious, man.
What did he say?
Oh man, I told you. Like, I told you this is it. And we're so happy, you know, to have that kind of person on our team.
Yeah.
You know, and he's part of Carabuena.
He has capacity to make, not that you have to, but he can make a lot more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
100,000 cases a year.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
How many markets are you in now?
Austin, San Antonio, and we're about to launch Houston and Dallas.
Good. So Texas, take
Forward, over. College Station.
When you talk about having a business, something that you don't always think of when you start, because once you get that first bottle, you're like, I did it. And then you're like, okay, I gotta expand. And then you're like, okay, well, I got to get a Reposado now. It's like, now I've got an Añejo. Do you have a 5-year, 10-year plan for the brand, or just whatever the day brings to you?
Well, having a tequila business is not easy.
Mm-hmm.
Very competitive market,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and you need to sell a lot.
Yes.
To keep alive, you know, and that's where I'm focused. Because I have a lot of people in my back.
Yes.
You know, they've been trusting me, you know, all those many years.
Yeah.
And I'm doing the best, and I'm doing the impossible, you know, to get to the point that makes sense to continue on business.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Do you think, and you don't have to answer this, but do you think, because you got two sons or two kids? Two kids.
Mm-hmm.
Will they be part of the business? Is that something that you want when they get older?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A legacy kind of?
Correct.
So is it something, because that's why what I mentioned is when we start businesses, we don't think about, oh, I'm going to be doing this for 10 years. I'm going to be doing this for 15 years, you know. And you either keep it in the family, like Juan has, or you sell it. Is that ever a goal of yours, to sell the thing that you've built and created and grown?
I really don't want to sell it, never.
I love that.
You know, because, man, it's all the families they have been putting together and creating that heritage.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what keeps me motivated. You know, like help my community in Mexico. This is another project that I said to myself, if I'm able to launch my own tequila brand, I'm gonna help my community.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm doing right now.
I love that. So it's always rooted in home.
Exactly, giving back, you know, to the persons that trust me.
Is your dad still around?
Yeah.
Does he drink tequila?
Oh yeah.
What does he think?
Oh, Victor, you're crazy, man. He never thought, like, I told him one day when I was creating the whole thing, put all the stuff together.
Yeah.
I said, hey, Dad, I need like 2 million pesos.
What do you say?
And he's like, oh man, like, you cannot have it from me. You know, are you crazy? Like, I know you have a good credit, you know, if we do this move and stuff like that, like, if this doesn't work, I pay you back. And he told me, Victor, like, put your feet on the ground, you know, and think about it, you know, like, this is crazy. And again, my mind, it was like processing differently.
Yeah.
Oh, you can. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, you know. But thanks to other person that told me that I was crazy, that you're not gonna make it happen, that you're wasting your money, you're wasting your time. You can, you know, like, have your weekly job, your payment every month, every week. You know, like, that changed my mind, you know, because I don't want to depend on anybody.
I love that.
And it motivated more, you know. Like,
of course. Well, when people tell you can't do something, you're like, oh, really? You think I can't do it? It makes you try twice as hard. I think that's in the soul of entrepreneurs and in the soul of ambition. Does your dad like the tequila?
Like, Victor, can you tell Juan to send me, like, every week, like, a case? You know? And he did. Oh, he likes it.
Sure.
Yeah, he promoted in country club where I used to work.
Amazing.
You know, we cannot sell it right now.
Sure.
But we will eventually.
Yeah, it's I know how difficult it is to make in Mexico and sell in Mexico, and the taxes are just incredibly steep. You know, it's funny. I share some with you, but I'm asking this question first. Does your dad ever say, shit, I should have given him that 2 million pesos?
No.
It never occurs to him.
Well, he told me, when we lunch, he like, Victor, I'm so proud of you, and you teach me a lesson.
That's amazing. When I had a similar moment with my dad, because I started a distillery 12 years ago or something like that, right? But I mean, we took out loans, credit cards, all this, you make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
You want it, you make it happen, and we're still around and it's great. But I was at a whiskey distillery kind of in North Texas, and my dad and my folks were living over there. We were drinking whiskey at this distillery.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't tell me, but we're drinking, had a good time, loved the Iron Root guys over there. It's a family-run distillery, making whiskey in Texas. And then came home, visiting my folks. I came back to Austin. My mom called me. She's like, your dad, he said, I really should have helped him out more with the business because he saw what things can be.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's funny that we'll prove people wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do this thing for us and we'll be successful. And I think that the 3 tequilas that I've tried, I mean, especially this Añejo, the Reposado as well, all of these are so different and they make me think about tequila different. So for that, I thank you because I was thinking about it very, very similarly. And if you talk to Juan, tell him that he's really doing something very, very special.
I mean, he's the...
Unless he already knows.
He's the main character about all these,
Yeah.
Like, thanks to him, we're here too.
Yes.
You can have a beautiful bottle, but the taste, when people try, they get you come back.
It's everything.
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean, everything, the label and everything. Mm-hmm.
It's really, really good. Well done, Victor.
Thank you.
So I got 2 questions left for you. Well, and this will be a third, but this was your first podcast ever. Do you like this? Do you like the media side of it? Do you like telling your story? And you can be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I need a lot of help, to promote my product.
Sure.
To let people know what's Carabuena and who we are and what kind of production we have, and I think people need to see that.
I
need to taste it.
Well, they need to hear. They need to hear you talk about it.
Yeah.
And eventually, I'll come into Jalisco and maybe I can interview Juan if he'll let me.
Absolutely, yes.
I gotta make it back there. So, 2 questions left for you. You listen to a lot of music. What's something you like lately that you're listening to?
Man, I love cumbias.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I love cumbias. I like happy music.
Okay, upbeat.
Sometimes I listen to classic.
Oh, really?
Classic, Beethoven, Chopin.
Oh,
because my dad.
Your dad, right?
And also sometimes at night, I put some music like the volume very low. And
settle into sleep.
Yes.
Yeah. I like that.
And we sleep through the night very well.
Me and my kids. For that. Set up. Boom.
I know.
Yeah, that'll keep you up. Well, so thinking of music, right? So let's say you're anywhere in the world and you're drinking your new Añejo with any musician. It doesn't matter where in the world, but you pick a place. Who would you like to sit down and drink your tequila Añejo with? A musician.
A musician? Frank Sinatra.
Okay.
With Añejo.
Oh, man. That's pretty classic.
He'd
be do you think he could, well, he'd drink more than me. That's for sure. Do you think he could drink more than you?
I don't drink that much.
Oh, okay.
To be honest,
so yes, he would drink.
Yes.
I love this. So just 2 days ago, the Reposado and Añejo arrived. What's the plan to share these and bring these to the Texas market? More of you going liquor to lips from bar to bar?
My marketing always been, being a part of the service industry. Helping, not helping, but promoting through our channel artists.
Oh, okay.
no necessary has to be, a painter, bartender is an artist. We create it.
I agree. Yeah.
So a person there created. We're creators for creators.
I love that. I love that. When you can see all the guitars I've got over here.
Oh yeah.
Created.
So we are creators, and
Yes.
we're trying to showcase in our website and Instagram stuff.
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh, I love that.
I like to support.
Great. Yeah, actually, I had one more question. This is the last question. I know you're driven, you're ambitious, and you're positive, optimistic. Are you a creative person? Is that something you think that you are?
No, I think I am a creator.
Yeah.
I create Carabuena.
No, it's a great point. Yeah.
And I think we are creators in a different way. My brother work at the kitchen. He create.
Yeah. Right.
Viridiana, she's interior design. She create.
Oh, really?
Yes. Juan Torres, he's a tonelero, tequilero, welder, mechanic, baker, constructor.
Too.
He's a creator.
Yes. So if we look within, we can all find that we are all creators.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that.
And I don't know, I think we all need to be create something.
Yes.
And be creator,
I agree.
Be your own.
Some people only create children, but that's a whole different thing. A whole different thing altogether. But Victor, I'm so glad we finally got to do this, man. I think people...
Thank you.
I want them to hear this story,
Thank you.
The tequila is so good. And I don't try to get into tequila interviews too much because I don't drink it that often. But this is different. Juan did a really, really good job. And I can't wait to share this with everybody.
Thank you.
So, saludos. We talk soon, yeah?
Salud.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, there we have it. Victor Diaz, the founder of Carabuena Tequila, really blowing up here in Austin. Like I said, someone told me I needed to meet Victor, and this was the first podcast interview I think that he's ever done. He's done a lot of panels. You'll see he's working in the industry a lot, and he does educational things and talks about entrepreneurship and all of that. But really incredible story, and he's the kind of guy that's got a drive and has an idea, and he's going to see it through. And he really has seen it through. Carabuena Tequila, you see it all over here in Texas. So thanks, everybody, for listening to Show to V with Mike G. No matter what you're trying to write about next lyrically, or you're thinking it'd be good to get back to Europe in the fall, please keep dancing.